Hi, my name is Muhammad Fizaman bin Sham. So I'm from J4EM103E, and this video is for crack and slider experiment. Okay, so for the safety, before starting the experiment, the first one we need to wear a lab coat. Okay. Next, we need to wear a glove. Okay, and the last one, we need to wear a mask. So, connect the crank and the connection rod together using the nail as the joint. Make sure the crank is turning in correct rotation. Set the crank into 0 degree. Record the initial position of the connecting rod. Slowly rotate the crank of the apparatus for every 30-degree increment. Record the displacement value of the connecting rod. Take the reading up to 360 degree. Repeat the experiment using different value of rotation radius and connecting rod length. So for discussion, the first question, explain how a crank and slider system works. So the crank, which is the rotating disc, the slider which slide inside the tube, and the connecting rod which join the parts together. As the slider moves to the right, the connection rod pushes the wheel round for the first 180 degree of wheel rotation. When the slider begins to move back into the tube, the connection rod pulls the wheel round to complete the rotation. So for the next question, compare and discuss the result from the theoretical and experimental table. So there will be a difference between theoretical and experimental result because there are some error that will be occur due to some external factors that might happen in this experiment. Okay, so for the third question, give your comment or suggest at least 4 causes of errors that might affect the result of the experiment. So the first one is eye is not perpendicular to the reading scale of the ruler while record the reading. The next one is the slider is moving when the measurement is taken. The third one is the connecting rod is not installed properly, and the last one is the hole of the connecting rod is too big. Okay, so for the last question, list some of the practical application of a crank and slider mechanism. So my answer is bicycle crank and train wheel. So for conclusion, from this experiment, I can conclude that the changing in crank radius and connecting rod will affect the displacement. If the radius of the crank is increased, then the displacement also will be increased. If the connecting rod length is larger, the displacement will go further. I also obtained that the motion of crank and slider is from straight line motion convert to rotary motion or contrast. Thus, the application of this experiment is used in our daily life to ease our work. It brings many benefits to us in transportation. For example, the train will use the same method.